Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. Today we're going to talk about tone and whether it is in your hands or in the gear. There's a lot of people that say that tone is in your hands. No matter which guitar Eric Clapton uses, it will always sound like Eric Clapton. And there's a lot of people that say gear is all and you need to have great instruments. Well, I stay in the middle and I'll explain you why. I think tone has a lot to do with you, and that's why everyone is different. But it's not in your hands, because my hands are here and there's no sound coming out of it. It's not in the guitar because the guitar is here and there's no sound coming out of it. It's not in the amp, it's not in the cable. It's in everything together. My hands with this guitar, this cable, this amp, and those microphones for you to listen. So it's a circuit. It's not just one thing. It's a chain. It's a chain of events, a chain of reactions. Because if you listen to the amp playing, to the tone of the amp, if you are playing, if the amp pleases you, if the amp goes in a certain way, you'll play more into it. If it displeases you, you will try to go around and figure it out. So it's a combination of a lot of aspects. But there is a lot you can do with the same gear without touching any knobs. And today's episode is more about it. Where to play it. In the intro, if you notice it, I got a lot of tones just by playing differently. And you can play with a pick or with your fingers. Two completely different approaches. Take a listen. Even if you play with a pick, you can play closer to the neck or closer to the bridge. And the big difference is that closer to the bridge, the sound is a lot more mid-rangey, a lot more spiky, a lot more honky. It is a lot more nasally. And closer to the neck, it's a lot more warm, deep, bassy, round, less attack, less transient. Exactly the same thing as the pickups listen. That's why the neck pickup is a lot less brighter than the bridge pickup, because the neck pickup is listening to the string over here, close to the neck pickup, right? The bridge pickup is listening to the string vibrating close to the bridge, so it's a lot more mid-rangey. Even if you use the same pickup in different positions, it will sound a lot different. Listen. Not changing pickups, not changing pick, just changing where I play it. Another thing that is really important, it's the strength. It's how you hit the strings. If you hit it lightly, they will sound rounder and softer, of course. If you hit it heavily, they will sound spankier, slappier. They will have a lot more mid-range. And if you have a good amp like I have, today I'm using the Mesa Boogie Transatlantic 15, as in the last episode. If you have a good amp, it will react to your playing. So it will compress a little more or a lot more. It will overdrive a little more or a lot more. It will depend on the amp. But it will react, so it will change your tone too. If you want the Red Hot Chili Peppers thing from Around the World, the song is Around the World, John Frusciante plays really heavy into the guitar. If you play it softer, it doesn't sound the same. Listen. Softer. Not the same thing, right? And that's just by playing differently, softer. Play with a pick and with the fingers. Hit it really hard with a pick and really soft with the fingers. Okay, the difference between those two approaches is huge, and I didn't change anything about the guitar. I didn't even change volume, which is another great way to have tone. Because when they say tone is in your hands, it's not just in your hands by playing the strings. It's all you do. The selection of the pickup, where you set the volume, where you set the tone. It all changes. It all makes you play different. For example, with my Knaggs, and this is, I know I've said this a million times, but I never get tired of saying it. This is really an absurdly amazing guitar, and it really delivers what I put into it. That's why I love it so much, because it reacts, it responds to what I play. It really makes the difference. If I play differently, it will sound different, and that's why I really love this guitar. But with any 3 single coil guitar, and please go and watch the pickup configuration episode, because I go deeply into that, into this business in that episode. But I usually use the pickups on their own, for a punchier tone, or the in-between settings for a softer, with more highs and less mid-range, so less transient, less attack. And with this guitar, I have 3 in-between settings and 3 single pickup settings. So I have the neck, the middle, and the bridge as a single pickup. And then I have the middle and the bridge, or the middle and the neck, or if I push it here, I have the bridge and the neck together. So I have 3 in between, 3 single pickup. And take a listen. So I usually play my rhythm with the in-between setting, and then I click to the single pickup, either the neck or the middle or even the bridge, to get a little more into the amp and to a little overdrive more, and to go above in the mix, to raise the level. So if I play it, you notice it spikes a lot more, and the middle pickup is really great to do that. Another thing that is really important in the technique of getting tone out of your instrument is the palm muting, and the palm muting is usually associated with a heavy guitar, but it isn't just a heavy guitar. For example, you have the Bob Marley thing. Palm muted, right? And you have a lot of can have it like this, but you can also use it to master the dynamics of your playing with an overdriven amp, for example. And this is a great amp. You noticed I played really gentle and it cleans up beautifully. If I dig in, if I punch it in the nose, it will react and it will be a beast, and then it can come back. So this is why great gear is very important and it's so sought after. It's not that it sounds that much better from a cranked crappy amp. Probably it won't, but the reaction, the in-between settings, the things that you can do between the clean and the overdriven is what makes it so amazing. It's called the dynamic response of the amp, of the guitar, of the pickups, of the cable. And this palm muting is very is a great technique to use. I love it. I use it a lot. Another great example is Jimi Hendrix technique, that it pinched the harmonics like but not in single notes. This is the Billy Gibbons thing from Lagrange, for example. This is the pinched harmonic, but Jimi Hendrix played it and in that way, but with chords. Which is very different than gets a lot brighter, a lot brighter when you pinch it, because you are losing the sustain of the note and the lower harmonics. So it's another great way of doing it. And then there's the slap. I will probably forget a lot of techniques, but it is almost infinite. But the slapping the strings. And hitting the strings really hard. I will turn the overdrive on with the reverb so we can get to Albert King and Albert Collins land. So okay, the BB King note, if you hit all the strings but just play the one note, so you can hit and it sounds down, okay? It's different than playing. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm remembering is the faces. The faces do matter. The faces you do when playing that, it does matter. Take a notice. The reverb. Now with the face. It matters because you are putting yourself into the note. You're putting your body into the note. You are pushing the note. You are punching the note in the face. And that's why if you play the funk, you need to groove with your body. You need to do. You need to groove it. And I'm not a dancer. I'm the worst dancer in the world. But I need to groove it. I need to feel it. That's why drummers do it. If you see a drummer playing like this, he will sound stiff. And if you want to sound stiff, be stiff. Don't move. Don't groove. That's the difference between playing only downstrokes or playing it okay, get it? Everything does matter. That's it. I hope this episode has been helpful to you. Thank you all for watching the show, for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done it yet, please do it. It's very important. You are making a statement saying, please, Budda, do more of your freaky episodes about geeky guitar playing. And it's very important to have the bigger the community we have, the more we can do together. Leave your comments, please. Leave your suggestions. Leave your opinions. If you remember anything I didn't mention, please do it in the comments. Please do it in English so anybody in the world can understand it. And I'll see you next week.